in our municipality a way forward. Just,
I think that will be I think that will be part of the discussion.
I think it's
so?
Yeah, I don't think it's be part of it because I'm not
we're
supporting
going to
it.
have a swap, we could have a swap.
We could
Okay,
do
if
it.
I could just, I think that is warranted to just say potential phasing. We will include that in the motion. Any other comments or questions with regards to this motion? There's public question, all in favor? And opposed, that stands. Thank you. Well done. We're on to 10.5, which is the Director of Community Services report on the capital budget update 2013. So, let's get that. Yes, there is a motion and recommendations here. Councilor Russell.
I'll pass the recommendation I'll move that the recommendation be passed.
Thank you. Councilor Cook is seconding that. Just for the public's benefit, the recommendation is that council approves a total spend of $18,000 to install accessible pedestrian signals at existing street lighted intersections in Grand Bend, be funded from the transportation reserve, and further, that accessible pedestrian signals for the Forest Street lighted intersections be referred to the 2014 capital budget, and that council approves $25,000 for the window eliminator ordered in 2012 to be funded from the Community Services Vehicle and Equipment Reserve. Any questions with regard to that? Councilor Monasterio.
Well, I guess I have a question and I guess I have a statement. And we have an accessibility committee. And I must tell you, and I don't expect staff to comment, but when I read the letter from the Human Resources and Skills Development Canada, I was a little perplexed when they said that we met the eligibility requirements, but that we didn't rank high enough to assist our visually impaired residents. And so I'm going to suggest that part of whatever motion, and here's back to you, Councilor Russell, I'd like to see the chair, I'd like to see this discussed at the accessibility committee level. I'd like to see our chair maybe come back with a recommendation to this council that our accessibility committee or our council send a letter to Human Resources and Skills Development and ask them, how can our visually impaired people rank higher? I find this absolutely, I don't even know what word to use to say, sorry, you meet all the qualities, you meet all the requirements, but you just didn't rank high enough. I think we need to know how we get that rank higher.
Well, I think it's a reasonable question of what are the criteria that they use to determine if a project meets, it is high.
It is unacceptable for us to say to a visually impaired person, I'm sorry, you met the criteria because you don't see well, but the federal government didn't see fit enough to give you help with audible signals, and so now we're going to have to refer it for another 8 months to budget discussion before we put it in. And this is going on, what, 2 years now we've been talking about this, isn't it?
2 years.
I just find it unbelievable. 4 years.
We just asked Brent, do you think this is an achievable ask to find out what criteria they have for these types of projects? For Janet's experience with grant funding?
It's always a fair comment to ask why you did it. Why you did that. That's
It's fine.
unreasonable to ask.
Okay, that's we're addendum to that.
Well, if you read the letter, it's the interesting part is there's a carrot. You turn me down, but you're still in the running. That doesn't help someone who's visually impaired trying to cross the street. So I guess I'd like to ask Human Resources and Skills Development Canada, how do we get that person across the street? What do we need to do in order for you to ring the bell and say, yeah, you got it?
It's a legitimate question, especially given another light that needs to have the same accessible standard.
Hey, going forward.
Councilor Russell, you had your hand up? Still no? Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Any other questions? Call the motion. All in favor? That's unanimously approved. Okay, I'm going to turn the gavel back over to Councilor Russell for 10.6, which is a Jericho Lane Car Municipal Training Question.
Thank you, Deputy. And do you want to make any comments to this before I entertain a motion?
No, I think most of it is there in the report. It's
entertain a motion to, on this report. Councillor Cook.
I'll move the recommendation.
Second. Councillor Underwood. Discussion on the motion. Accept the recommendations contained in DCS report number 70, 2013. It be approved and further the request for municipal drain maintenance related to closed drainage crossings be accepted under section 74 of the Drainage Act. Any discussion on that motion? Councillor Scott.
If it's closed and we're not maintaining it, what if something happens when something goes across it? Like is it supported, filled in? Is the drain filled in? Is it still a drain like when it's closed?
Well, and that's what we're asking for here, is that we're recommending that we treat these, for the closed ones, currently, they're not going to be modifying the drain whatsoever, so if you're installing an access road over top of a closed drain, there's no modification of that drain, so there's no real reason for them to bring anything forward. And passing this policy recommendation, what we're doing is, we're requiring that to be dealt with by an engineer under section 74, and we're requiring that we can create post-construction of a turbine to ensure that the drain does remain open and that that specific section is upgraded to handle construction rates.
Okay. And part of my concern is that if it was left open, if it's an open drain and there's no maintenance done and it just sits there and it could be there 25 years from now, will it, and I guess the engineers would be able to tell you, but will it fall apart and all of a sudden is the ground going to collapse? Like it's a hole, right, technically, or
And what?
Well, in an open drain situation, in an open drain, in these specific cases, the open drain crossing will be a new culvert, and it'll be for the sole purpose of allowing traffic to cross the drain. So it'll be to the only to the benefit of that property owner. So if they don't come forward and request new maintenance, then they won't be able to access the other side of the property if the culvert is not.
just want to make sure it's not our responsibility.
Any other questions on the motion? Seeing any, I'll call the motion. Those in favor? Motion is carried. O'Reilly.
Good. Thanks again, John. Okay, 10.7 is Director of Community Services report on the Grand Bank pedestrian crosswalk construction tender awards. How would council like to deal with this? Councilor Underwood?
I'll move the recommendation.
Moved and seconded by Councilor Dwyer. The recommendation is that this report be approved and further that the municipality of Lantern Shores enter into an agreement with Coke Construction to complete the proposed construction of 2 pedestrian crosswalks for the tendered amount of $89,924.27, inclusive of HST, and further that by law 56, 2013, authorizing the mayor and clerk to sign the associated contract agreement be approved. Any discussion on this recommendation? Councilor Russell?
Through you, Brent.
Yes.
Brent, in your report, I agree with the motion that start that. In your report, though, it's a little iffy about approvals. Am I correct?
Well,
You want to say and what I'm going to say before you answer, okay, is it's probably our job to protect your butt and not the other way around.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, in this case, what we propose is on the default condition, and it would be approved. And we proceeded on this basis based on a pre-consultation with public MPO. Now that it's time to go to construction, the MPO has changed their mind and they've asked for additional study. So, if anything, they may approve a higher degree of pedestrian signalization.
It's my only concern. I just want to make sure that this council makes sure that in passing this and giving Brent the authorization to go forward, that we make sure that everything's crystal clear in terms of the authorization. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just talking about him, not us. I think he's met all the criteria for tendering, et cetera, but MTO, just like Council Lonsdale was just saying, they seem to have recalcitrant